Kumu has a very robust presentation feature, which works well if you know just what the final presentation will look like or what you want it to look like. The presentation is essentially a set of screenshots of various cross sections of the model, whichever ones you choose to display, interspersed with title, text, and embed slides if you want to use them. Though if the model you want to tell a story of is still evolving, creating a presentation with the Kumu presentation feature can be a real pain, because if you change one slide, you may have to change all of the rest of them, depending upon what shows up on the slides. So for some period of time, I've been using the Kumu showcase feature, which is something that you define in the parameters. And I included links in the video to the showcase documentation in the Kumu documentation. But essentially, it's a way of setting up a set of controls that you can use to select which parts of the presentation that you want to use or present. In the case that or the way I've been using it, I use showcase targeted based on loops and sequenced by the label and displayed as dots and have multiple of them turned on at a time, which then allows me to, or causes Kumu to create a set of dots across the bottom so I can use them to turn on segments of the model piece by piece, which is fine if you want to unfold and display loops. You could display elements, or you could display connections. It depends upon how you define the showcase feature. You can also, instead of having this multiple true, you could say multiple false, which meant every time that you clicked one of these, it would turn the other one off. Now, the nice thing about this is that within Kumu, a loop is defined as one or more connections, which also shows you the attached elements. So in the instance of this first one, this loop is just 4 connections that have been selected and labeled as loop. So when I say that I want this loop, the feedback independent influence loop, it gives me these 4 connections displayed. Now, when I was preparing to do this presentation for the Oceana System Dynamics group a short time ago, it doesn't follow the way that I wanted it to unfold doesn't follow the typical loop structure. And I wanted to be able to unfold discontinuous pieces. So I wanted to set it up so I could display a number of things and then skip to somewhere else. So I finally figured out how to get it to do this. So I display one and the next one. And here, this is actually a loop. So how did I get it to display a single element? And as I walk through it, notice that, oh, wait a minute. Why is it doing this? What have I done? When did I set this? I don't know when I did that, but it was set up the wrong way. So if now it's set to true, it simply unfolds this piece by piece, but when I get to this point, it jumps over here and displays this, and then this. All right, so, and this is the way that I wanted to talk about the pieces, and the way that I got it to do that was by using 2 separate views. So this is the view that I use when I'm presenting, and this is the view that I use when I'm editing. And notice that there are a whole bunch of pieces that show up here in yellow, and it's been set up so that they are typed to be hidden and there's part of the structure, part of the script that's down here that says if the connection type is hide, then the connection itself is the same color as the background. The same thing with the element, and so in that way, when I'm actually doing the presentation, there are pieces of it that don't show up because they're the same color as the background. Whereas in the edit view, it goes ahead and sets the color of the connection element and text for the loop to yellow so that you can see them. So you go ahead and you use this in the edit mode to set up these pieces and these connections that you know won't show up in the final version of the presentation. And you simply sequence the loops in such a way that there's room to add or take out pieces, so that you notice it goes from 3 to 7 to 12, 14, 16, 20, 22, and 75 is actually 3 different pieces, and that's the way that I wanted it to unfold. So using this approach with 2 different scripts or 2 different views, you can define what you want to be part of the model, and what is part of the model is different than what unfolds as you click through the sequence. And as I said, in the notes section of the video, there's a link to the introduction to the showcase feature and the showcase controls so that you can go ahead and look at those. So hope you found this of interest. I was quite pleased that I actually got this figured out so I could unfold this model just the way that I wanted to. So take care. See you in another video soon. Bye.